There is nothing that lets a man's wardrobe down more than ruined pairs of shoes. So in this video, I'm going to be giving you my top 5 shoe care tips to preserve your shoes and to keep them looking amazing. I have made many videos on this channel before covering footwear. I've shown you how a shoe should fit, what types of shoes to avoid, and also what types of shoes look great. But the thing that I haven't done is shown you how to keep your shoes in good condition for as long as possible. And this is critical because imagine going to a job interview with a pair of shoes that look like you've got them out of the dustbin. It's not going to be leaving a good impression, is it? And by following the tips in this video, you're going to not only make your shoes look better, but also last longer, so you don't have to buy multiple pairs of shoes. Several of the tips in this video are going to be to do with storing your shoes, because this is where loads of guys seem to go wrong and their shoes end up being completely ruined when they take them out to wear them. My first tip to preserving your shoes and to keep them looking great for as long as possible is to use shoe trees. And that is these things here. Using shoe trees, ideally the wooden ones, is what's going to help you to keep your shoes in the correct shape. The more that you wear your shoes, the more that you're going to notice creasing, especially around the toe area. And gradually, over time, these creases become more and more prominent. And in a lot of cases, with a lot of guys, I've seen the leather even splitting around this location. Now, this could be the mark of a cheap pair of shoes, or it could be the mark of a guy not taking care of them. Shoes look better without really deep creases in, and the number one way to do this is to use shoe trees while you're storing your shoes. These almost act as a replacement for your foot. Pop this inside your shoes and essentially it keeps the leather taut around this area, preventing the upper from collapsing in this area. The wooden ones can also help to aerate the shoes, and I also find that they're actually easier to polish when you've got a shoe tree inside. Although the wooden ones are fantastic, if you're on a tighter budget, you can still go for the plastic ones. It's still going to be a big benefit to your shoe and they are cheaper, so if you're looking to buy multiple of them, it may be the better way to go. I'll leave a link to both types in the description below so you can go and check them out. A worthwhile investment for sure. My second tip to preserve your shoes and to keep them looking amazing is to make sure that you store them away from direct sunlight. And this could mean storing inside a shoebox, maybe the original shoebox that they came in, or an alternative like the bottom of your wardrobe, that's where I keep mine, or maybe a specific shoe drawer. If you're storing them out in the open, your shoes are just begging to be faded. Sunlight through the windows or even the lights in your home are going to cause the colour to go out of your shoes. And this also applies if you've got one of these display cabinets. This seems to be a relatively popular thing in America, with loads of guys displaying their sneakers in these display cases with transparent glass panels. And the thing with these is the sunlight or light is still going to get through to the shoes and cause at least one of them to fade. And the only thing worse than having both shoes fade is having only one of them fade and then they look completely different. Make sure that your shoes aren't exposed to light and you won't have this problem. The third tip to preserving your shoes and to keep them looking amazing is to do with the air in the environment. Because lots of people understand that they don't want their shoes to be exposed to dirt or sunlight, so they store them in airtight containers. And this is a big no-no. Leather is like your skin and it needs air to breathe. If you're restricting the natural airflow to the product, you're going to find that the leather just dries out. And this is going to be doubly as bad if you've got a rubber-soled shoe, because you'll find that in an airtight environment, they will undergo hydrolysis, where basically sections of the heel crack and fall away. This can also happen with some regular cheap shoe boxes. So one thing you've got to look for is a hole that allows air to flow into the box. Additionally, I live in a house at the moment that seems to suffer quite badly from damp, and frustratingly, one of the main areas that this happens is the bedroom where I store my shoes. And I've experienced it before now that I've taken out a pair of shoes to wear and they've got mold around the edge of the sole. And this is because there is too much water or humidity in the air. One of the cheapest and best ways to combat this without having to dig into the walls is a dehumidifier. This eliminates some of the extra water vapor and the humidity in the air and has the side effect of keeping your shoes in better condition. It's all about getting that balance right in terms of the environment that you're storing them in. You wouldn't store your food in a bad environment, so why do the same to an expensive pair of shoes? The fourth tip to preserving your shoes to make sure they look amazing for longer, as well as polishing, you need to remember to moisturize them. Now this isn't going to really apply if you're talking about fabric shoes. For them, just make sure that they're kept clean. But for leather products, this is critical to how long they're going to last. Often, us men are good at polishing our shoes. But if you wonder why so many of your pairs of shoes are cracking even when you're using loads of polish, it's because you're not moisturizing them. Leather is a skin, if you like. It's an animal hide. And just like human skin, it's got to be moisturized to an extent. I'm not one of these guys who's going to tell you to unrealistically moisturize your shoes every single week. But maybe once every 2 months, take some of your shoes out and just rub some moisturising balm on them and you'll be sorted. This will give your leather products some nourishment and help them last longer. And if you get your shoes dirty, then you can easily use this as part of your cleaning process as well. The fifth and final one on this list is a real preventative measure. And if you live in a country where rain is quite a regular occurrence, then this is going to be essential. And that is using water repellent spray. This stuff works well on regular leather but is incredibly effective on fabric shoes, suede and nubuck. The typical shoes where normally, if it was even spitting with rain outside, you're coming home with soggy feet. The best thing to do is if you see it raining outside or you see the forecast and it's not looking great, then make sure you spray some of this onto your shoes before heading out. This provides an invisible barrier on the top of your shoes which stops the water from entering the material, basically making them waterproof. Extremely affordable, great value for money. Similarly to the moisturising balm, once every couple of months or maybe on a particularly rainy day, just chuck this stuff on. This stuff has single-handedly allowed me to get far more wear out of my suede boots. The rain protector as well as the other products that I've mentioned in this video are all going to be linked down in the description below. I've got UK and US links. Hopefully you found this video useful and it's going to mean that you can extend the life of your shoes and keep them looking great. If you enjoyed it, make sure you press the like button. And if you want to see more helpful tips videos on what to wear and how to style your hair, then make sure you press the subscribe button and then also tap the bell right next to it as well so that YouTube tells you every single time I upload a fresh new video, and I will see you on the next one.